Okay, something I wanted to show before, but I didn't really have time to do. I wanted to tack this onto the extra video, but I guess this will be a second extra video, bonus video. I want to show off Darkstalker Kaathe here, because he's kind of important to the second, the Dark Lord ending. And he basically just looks like Frampt and shows up here when you beat the 4 kings. If you haven't placed the Lord Vessel for Frampt, he won't appear here at all, as you remember from my actual playthrough. So let's talk to him.
Greetings, undead warrior. I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Kaathe. I can guide thee and illuminate the truth. The truth I shall share without sentiment. After the advent of fire, the ancient lords found the 3 souls, but your progenitor found a 4th, unique soul, the Dark Soul. Your ancestor claimed the Dark Soul and waited for fire to subside, and soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained. Thus began the Age of Men, the Age of Dark. However, Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark, clinging to his Age of Fire and in dire fear of humans, and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them. Lord Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children to shepherd the humans. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent. I seek to right the wrongs of the past, to discover our true Lord. But the other serpent, Frampt, lost his sense and befriended Lord Gwyn. Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature, and become the 4th Lord, so that you may usher in an age of dark.
So, you can say yes or no here, but we'll say yes.
Very well. I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison. Be still, and trust thine flesh to me.
Now, he basically just looks the same as Frampt. His voice is a little bit different, but I think it's probably the same voice actor and everything. He does give you a more literal truth in that he tells you exactly what you have to do, and that it's much more in tune with what is actually true.
This is Gwyn's prison. Now, place the Lord Vessel upon the altar.
As I said before, if you have already placed the Lord Vessel, this won't work. That isn't to say he's telling you the whole truth, but I mean, the story is very vague and open to interpretation like that. But he's definitely telling a more literal truth than Frampt. The odd thing is that Frampt actually shows up here if you do the Dark Lord ending and says he's going to serve you too. So that's pretty weird. And Kaathe is sitting in a different place than Frampt usually does. Frampt is hanging from the ceiling, and Frampt comes up from the bottom. I guess because he's coming in from the abyss, and Frampt is coming in from above. And Frampt is in that spot when you are doing this normally, and he's not there. So, I don't remember if it says here literally, but it implies... I think it does state somewhere that it is the furtive pygmy that's supposed to be the human's kind of progenitor, and that that's the reason why all the gods are bigger or something. I don't know.
Very well. Once the vessel is filled with souls, the gate to Gwyn shall open. Seek Gravelord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, and the traitor Seath the Scaleless. Fill this vessel with their souls. Then the gate will open, so that you may kill Gwyn. Are you ready? Then let us return to the Abyss. Entrust thine flesh to me.
As with a lot of hidden endings, I suppose this one, from what I've heard by a lot of people, this one's actually like the good ending, doing the Dark Lord ending, but whatever. The game doesn't have a good ending. So he actually tells you exactly what you're supposed to do, and it's the same as the, I guess, good ending.
If you wish,
bad ending.
I shall grant the art of life drain, the legendary power of the Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead, and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
He also has a covenant involved with him, the
Undead warrior, to speak
Dark Wraiths.
now is premature. It begins with your retrieval of the Lord Vessel.
Don't know why it says this, I already did it. So, if you join it, you can buy stuff from him.
Every last one of them. They were strong, but saw not the truth. I am certain that you will prove different.
You see, it implies earlier in the game that he was manipulating the people in Ulasil and the Four Kings into doing what they did. So let's join the Covenant. Which is maybe what he's talking about there. You can give him humanity to get ranks, sort of like the Chaos Covenant there. You get a Dark Hand, but you can get Dark Hands pretty easily. You can buy cracked Red Eye Orbs, and you'll get a sword and some armor later. And he does the same things as Frantic, except that you can't offer items to him to eat. And he won't trade you for different types of slabs and Titanites and stuff. So he's kind of an inferior helper, I suppose, in that regard. So let's see what Frampt has to say for himself.
You sorry fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened again.
As I said, he kind of shows up in the ending anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it for now.